All right, Dolphin fans, how in the hell is everybody doing? So, um, I can surmise yesterday's game with the following. There's only one team in the AFC that's not within a game and a half of a playoff spot right now, and that's the team we just beat.
The old fighting Belichick. The only team that stinks in the AFC. That's weird. That's a weird reality to be in. What
Yeah.
universe did we wake up in today?
I see. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's the world is getting stranger. And then on top of that, all the teams in first place are 6-2, including the Jaguars. Just all four teams are tied basically for the top seed.
Yeah, thanks to
It
the
is
Broncos beating the Chiefs.
right. I mean, it is I know the NFL wanted parity, but holy crap, did they get it? So anyway, Dolphins get the win yesterday, 31-17. And I think while we were talking, two more offensive linemen got hurt.
I made an exaggeration last week saying that Liam Eichenberg is now our most seasoned offensive lineman. It's not an exaggeration anymore. That's literal. Liam Eichenberg is our most seasoned offensive lineman.
I want you to be wrong, but you're not. You're not.
No, the good news
You
is he's
know.
not doing bad. Tua got sacked a
No.
few times
Well,
yesterday, but it wasn't like previous years.
right. And yesterday was the first time in a long time I did not notice, and then I'm including Connor Williams in this. I didn't notice any bad snaps yesterday. Did
No,
you?
I
No,
didn't see any.
no, because yeah. So yeah, that was kind of running through my mind during the game as I was watching. I'm like, Eichenberg is right now. I wouldn't say he's our best offensive lineman, but he's our most consistent because he's in because he, because he's in he's playing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I almost don't want to stop complaining about him and stop being nervous about him. It's almost
Right.
like how with you with the Panthers, like you don't want to give the goalie credit because once you give the goalie credit, everything goes to shit. I
Yes.
love what he's doing right now, but I feel like if I turn around and say, "All right, Liam Eichenberg's a good player. He's a good
Right.
egg,"
Right.
that's when he's going to turn back into the old Liam Eichenberg. So just keep doing what you're doing. That's what we
Yeah.
say in this situation, right? Keep doing
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing. Exactly. I don't know how we're doing it. I mean, look, it's obvious that we're not running the ball from 8 yards a carry anymore because there's only so many injuries from guys. But I mean, Tua took a couple of sacks, but he's not getting killed. I mean, it's still light years better than it was last year.
No, the Lions playing better. He's making fat. You know what? He may not always make the best decision, but he's not indecisive. You can't say that
Right.
about Tua. He will make that decision, and he'll make it
Well,
quick.
I watched a breakdown this morning on Twitter, Dan Orlovsky, and he was sitting there showing Rex Ryan. It was the one play that he threw it to Tyreek, where Tyreek kind of had to jump up and get it. And it wasn't a big gain; it was maybe 10 yards. But what Orlovsky was showing was where in the route when Tua was getting ready to throw the ball, and you've got three wides on the right side, and um, nobody's open. But all three defensive backs are looking at Tyreek. Even the guy covering whoever it was on the way on the outside. I couldn't see the number. It must have been a Waddle. But even the guy covering Waddle on the very top of the screen was just watching Tyreek. And two things stuck out to me. Number one, I mean, that's why that's why a couple times a game we say, where the hell is he throwing the ball? Because he is throwing it just assuming that he knows which way the wide receiver is going to break. And I guess he's guessing right like 99% of the time. And every once in a while, you're like, where the hell is he throwing the ball? Well, the receiver didn't break where he thought he was going to go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the other thing is, it just illustrated that now he didn't have time on this play because he was getting ready to take a hit. But if he had had an extra second as soon as he cocked and looked like he was even just going to throw towards Tyreek, the corner that was covering the guy at the top of the screen left his man. And by the time the ball was halfway to Hill, dude was 20 yards wide open. There was no safety. There was nobody near him whatsoever. And if Tua had just had enough time to just pump fake to Tyreek and then lob it up, easy touchdown. Easy touchdown.
Yeah, Kyle pointed it out in the stream, and I thought it was funny. Now I'm noticing it every time. When you see Tua, when he cocks it back real hard, like he's about to rip it, it's going to Tyreek. You don't even have to wait for the camera to zoom out to see who he's throwing it to. If he rips it, or as Kyle said, when he yeets it, like he's throwing it to Tyreek.
I know.
You don't even have to wait for the camera to zoom out. If Tua reaches back like Henry Rowan Gardner, it's going to Tyreek.
You know, when I was a kid, when Brother Gene and I were kids, we played in the NFL. And that was what my dad called it. It was called the Neighborhood Football League. And it was 2-on-2, and we would go around all these, sometimes it was in front of our house, the neighbor's house, across the other side of the track's house. But in front of our house, we literally painted a full 100-yard football field. So we had it all marked out. We had it was a full spray painted on the street 100-yard football field. We had it set up to where we could kick extra points, field goals, but we had plays. We had a playbook, and we're talking like 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, right? Wow. And so we'd show up at these guys. Man, we gonna kick your ass, man. You look at you, a couple of little short dudes. Well, you ain't gonna, right? And I'm the quarterback. I was the quarterback because I had a good arm. Even though I was faster than everybody, I had a good arm, and Gene was tall. And so we'd get up to the line, and I'd be like, X cross W mailbox. And they'd be like, what the hell are these two? And I'd take 2 steps, and I'd throw the ball to nobody. And Gene would run this perfect route, and boom, it would be right in his hands. And the dudes we were playing were just standing around like, what the hell is wrong with these cats? What are you calling plays, man?
Ban that play.
Yeah, ban that play, right? Well, one of them, this is funny. One of them was actually called mailbox because we played in the street, right? But the swale was still in bounds. The sidewalk was out of bounds, okay? But the mailboxes were in the swale, and they were in the field of play. And WX mailbox just meant that Gene was going to kind of float out and then cut towards the mailbox. I'd place the throw so he could get to it, and the defender would be like, well, I ain't going to run into the mailbox. Easy touchdown every time. So I'm watching that I was watching that this morning, and I'm like, I know what he's throwing it to nobody. When he's throwing the ball, he's throwing it. I mean, he knows where he's throwing it. He's throwing it to a spot like they say, but there's nobody half the time. There's nobody open when he throws the ball. He's just pretty damn sure which way Tyreek is going to go, and every once in a while, Tyreek goes the other way and the ball goes right to the defender. And we're like, where's he throwing the ball?
Every now and again, there's miscommunication, but usually it's on, and that's timing, that's reps, that's chemistry.
Yeah.
And I like that Tyreek has always gone to bat for Tua. Like, ever since the day he got here, like most famously when he said that Tua was the most accurate quarterback he had played with, and everybody took that as a shot at Mahomes. And
yeah.
I never took it that way. Like, accuracy is just one part of being a quarterback. He didn't say that Tua was a better quarterback than Mahomes. All he's really saying is, if they're both at the carnival playing games, you should probably bet on Tua at the carnival. You know what I mean? Because that's all accuracy.
Yeah.
But just from day one, he has been Tua's guy. And I think that obviously is translated to on the practice field and onto the game field as well. They clearly have, I don't want to sound soft, but they clearly have a bond, a strong bond.
I'm thinking of that, and you're directly right. But what I think it is, and this is a compliment, but they're both so arrogantly cocky, right? That both of them at the same time are thinking, whatever the hardest thing is, like whatever nobody is going to expect, that's where I'm going to throw the ball and I'll make the catch. You understand kind of
Right.
what I'm getting at? It's like, instead of just throwing the easy pass, Tyreek is thinking, I can beat this guy. I can make this move. I can get to this spot. And in Tua's head, he's thinking the same thing. Oh man, they'll never expect it being thrown here. And they're just on the same page with it. And
they're crazies match.
It's there you go. Exactly. That's exactly right. I mean, look, I grew up watching Marino, and it was very much the same thing, especially with Mark Duper. Marino would take 2 steps and yeet the ball. And when the ball's in the air, I mean, Duper is not open. He's blanketed. He's not open. And wherever that ball went, somehow by the end, Duper was catching it, and he had gotten 2 yards of separation, and it was just crazy to see. But when you have that confidence between the two, between the wide receiver and the quarterback, it's tough to stop, man. I mean, look at the bomb he threw, 40 yards, whatever it was, 45 yards. I mean, that was a good throw, but it was a hell of an adjustment by Tyreek, because he had to kind of over that side of the shoulder. That's not an easy catch. Just ask any baseball outfielder.
No, and I don't know where the angle where the sun was, but I mean, you could have had the sun in your eyes easily on that, because you're just turning around, bang, Miami sun.
Yeah,
it was an incredible catch. Just the concentration, the athleticism, being able to turn and all that, it was great. And you were talking about the connection. We're playing a team that has that connection this coming week with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing I noticed, I've noticed it throughout the season, but I really noticed it yesterday. It didn't kill us, but I noticed it yesterday. We have an issue sometimes wrapping up and tackling. And that's not the guy that we need to be having that issue with this weekend.
Right.
Because he's going to be breaking tackles to begin with, even if you're a good tackling team.
Yeah. We seriously lack the Zach Thomas element. There's no doubt there. Okay. Thomas got his hands on you. You were already, just go down. just go down. We don't have that. I mean, Cater does the best he can, but the guy's practically a Smurf. Okay. And now I have a question for you. Because my TV was giving me problems with the YouTube TV yesterday. So this is a legitimate question, but when Ramsey made that interception and was running it back, what was he running as slow and screwed up as it looked to me, or was that my TV? And that's a legit question.
So he wasn't running his top end speed, and it wasn't because he was low fit or anything like that. He was just going with the blocking.
Okay.
And I think he ended up going out of bounds there right at the end. I think if he had been able to stay in bounds there, he had pretty much ran out of blocking at that point. And that was when he would have turned on the jets and started going.
Okay.
But yeah, he was just kind of going with everybody and just kind of gliding across the field. I watched the the YouTube will put all the highlights of the game in a 12-minute package. I watched that again this morning. And on that play, I was like, oh yeah, John's going to ask about this.
Yeah, because for us, it kept, the picture kept in and out. And at that point, we were at the point where it was back to high def, but it was choppy. So instead of smooth running, it was like that. And I'm like, I couldn't, it was bad. It was bad.
No, it was just a nice little glide. He was going with the blocking, and then he ended up going out of bounds right here. He would have, if he had stayed in bounds. But
Gotcha.
Got a pick,
mean, I was when they said when they said he was playing, I'm like, what's he gonna do? Get a couple of snaps, just get into the game, and then he's out there to start the game, and I'm like, how? Right? Just
because
crazy.
He is an unconquered Florida State cinnamon roll. Let's go. That's why
So
I came back.
let's talk about something else. No, I'm kidding. The defense.
Mhm.
I don't. And you could wrap this up in the whole NFL because I don't know what to expect anymore now. I mean, we blew 70 on the Broncos and they just held the Chiefs to 9. Okay. So
Yeah.
from week to week, you can't say, well, this happens or that's going to happen. And it don't forget it. It just throw it all out the window every week. That said, our defense does have a tendency to have, when they're going to give up a touchdown, we'll say this, they don't mess around. Every play is 10 yards and it's a touchdown. It's not like teams aren't like getting like 4 third-down conversions and we're almost stopping them. And then, except for, of course, the Eagles did that because they did it to us 4 times. That's a different story. But most of the time, like we'll have 4 or 5 stops in a row. And then all of a sudden, like, it's just like there's Swiss cheese. Like there's no defense there. So I'm a little queasy. It's the Chiefs. But then,
because if you have a couple of those Swiss cheese drives, all of a sudden Mahomes is in a rhythm,
right.
and it doesn't matter if you get right or not. If he's in a rhythm, he's in a rhythm, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, hopefully Taylor goes on that trip, and she and Travis have the most wonderful German vacation. Is it still Oktoberfest right now? Like, I hope so. Like, please have something going on over there. I trust our guys. Like, here's the thing, though. The human element in all these guys, it's honestly a once in a lifetime type trip, even
Yeah.
for these millionaire athletes. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they don't really have the time and shit. They got the resources and the money to go, but they don't have the time because they're always
Right.
training, playing football, all that. So
Yeah.
getting to go to Germany, this could affect anybody on either team. I trust our guys a little bit more because of the fact that they do play in Miami.
Well, did you hear how McDaniel said he's handling it? They're actually leaving today. And what he wanted to do, he wanted to get there, leave today, so you can have like a normal Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then like Friday's the team day off, and they're going to go together and do sightseeing and all of that and make it a team thing. So that's the normal schedule, right? So as far as he was saying, so he wanted to keep it as normal as possible. It's just a longer plane ride. So if we win, but of course now since the Chiefs lost to the Broncos, if we still beat the Chiefs, is the narrative still going to be we can't beat a good team, or is that good enough? Right? You know what I mean?
They'd be 6-3 at that point. They'd have a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, 2 games.
3 of
When's
their
the last
last
time?
4.
Yeah.
Oh man, they'd be a good team, but they'd be having a really bad month. So, you beat the Chiefs, but you caught them in a slump. Is that what they're gonna say?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's next.
Unreal. The Dolphins are 6-2. God damn it! They're playing the schedule. They're playing. They're 6-2.
6-2. Yeah. Yeah. It look, and like I said, when you see who's beaten, I mean, look at the 49ers. I mean, what the hell is going on over there? It was taken for granted they're going to get 35 points in a win, and all of a sudden, right? I mean, I know Purdy was
lose
hurt.
a couple guys.
Yeah, that's
we lost a couple guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we have the one guy that's the key. Everybody else is losing quarterbacks. I mean, the number of quarterbacks at the end of the games that are, I mean, geez, just go down the list. It's
I'm a Kirk Cousins fantasy owner.
Oh,
bring that up.
Jeez. Well, look, like if I mean, I'm getting greedy. I'm getting greedy now. I am admittedly getting greedy, but the Giants need a quarterback. I mean, Skylar Thompson for Saquon. We could add another running back to the room.
They're not going to do that.
The Vikings, Skylar Thompson for Justin Jefferson. I'm just saying. If you I'm just throwing it.
I feel like I'm doing a show with Rosado right now, man. Unreal.
I'm just saying. I mean, if they need some help, we're willing to help. Imagine Waddle, Hill, Jefferson, and Claypool as the 4 wideouts.
Wow.
Hey, we're almost there. We got 3 of those guys. I mean, what's one more?
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
look, speaking
dude,
of
it's wild.
Claypool, good. Uh-oh, we lost young Stu. Hold on. We're going to try to get him back here. We were on such a roll, too. Dang it. What happened? Well, we'll give him another couple of seconds. I'm just kidding. I don't want to trade Skylar Thompson, right? Yeah. Come on, buddy. What happened? Uh-oh. He's not coming back quick either. I wonder if it's, now he's completely gone. Well, we're going to give him a half a second. Stay with us. Stay with us. Damn it. He's gone. Let me see if I got it. Oh, wait, here he goes. He's trying to come back. You there?
Unreal. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
So apparently, even if I have it on Do Not Disturb, that's going to happen.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well,
Sorry about
back
that,
to
everybody.
what that's okay. Back to what you were saying. You were convincing me that we didn't need Justin Jefferson or something like that.
No, I was just pointing out that it was really wild that you had Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow on the same college team. Like, that's just absurd.
Right.
Yeah, I honestly forgot what I was saying because that phone call just irritated me so much.
Yeah, I
was just pointing out how wild it was that they had all those people on the same college team.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, teams need quarterbacks. I mean, you got to have 2-3 quarterbacks now. You know what I mean? I mean, look at what happened to the Giants yesterday, right? I mean, they lose Jones, then they lose Tyrod Taylor, -9, -9 total passing yards for the game. I mean,
yeah,
it's
that's no good.
Speechless.
I mean, they lost Waller. To be fair, they did lose Waller. At first I didn't know Waller was hurt. I saw that he only had like one catch for 7 yards, and it was almost halftime. I was like, did Daniel Jones go back on the field? Like, what happened? But no, it's just that Waller was hurt.
Right.
They're a mess. But I don't know. I know you're joking about Saquon, but I don't trading for Skylar in any form. I don't know. Maybe someone sees the potential in him. I think if he had won that game against Buffalo, we'd be having an easier conversation with that. But then again, at the same time, we probably wouldn't want to be trading him.
Yeah, no, I'm only being sarcastic because we have the point being that is that all these other teams can't. We got three guys.
Someone might want Mike White. You keep showing off.
Don't break Kyle's heart. That would break Kyle's heart. Right? Yeah. So look, the AFC is. I didn't realize it, right? I mean, I thought, okay, we're 6-2 because I went to look at the tiebreakers, right? And for whatever reason, I don't know, it's sketchy, but for whatever reason, technically, Kansas City is still the number 1 seed.
Well, I mean, they have the same thing that we have. They have a division loss and they have an NFC loss.
Is that so? Then there must be another tiebreaker in there because it's probably strength of schedule.
Yeah. I mean,
between like common opponents or something, maybe common opponents.
Or it could be conference record. Maybe we've played more NFC teams than they have. We've played the Giants. We've played the Eagles. We've played the Panthers. We've played it. So it could be that.
Right. But we're 2.
Or it could be the fix is in.
And then the Ravens are 3. And then the Jaguars are sitting there at 6-2. But they're in the 4th spot. But no, we don't get a chance to play Jacksonville, so we're not going to have that head-to-head. But Kansas City and Baltimore, I mean, this is where it gets queasy for Dolphin fans because, I mean, I'm 52, and at least for the last 30 years, if you say, hey, Dolphins, you have this napkin, it's in your hand, save it because you're going to eat lunch later. Oops, I had it in my hand. Whoopsie, so I hate to say it, but they had the top seed to the AFC. It's in their hand. I don't care what it stands right now. You win the games, you're getting that bye. And I know I keep harping on it, but I cannot understate getting a week off and then having to have some team come to the Super Bowl in Miami, right? I mean, the advantage, if we get the top seed in the AFC, I would even take my fandom out of it, take the homerism fandom out of it. If we get the top seed in the AFC, we have to be the Super Bowl favorite, because even if it's cool in Miami, it's going to be 75 degrees and humid in January.
Well, you're also just avoiding the cold weather climates. You're avoiding Missouri in January. You're avoiding Buffalo in January. So even if it's
New
not
York,
humid,
Cincinnati, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, none of those places sound fun.
No,
it's not like it's us and the Chargers going for the top seed, because then that'd be fine. It's like, okay, we're either in Miami or going to LA. Well, cool.
Right? Yeah, we're good.
It's a big deal to avoid that. It's a big deal to just get healthy and get fresh. And whoever's hurt now and whoever's going to get hurt later, because guys are going to get hurt later.
Right. Well, I like the tactic that they've taken with X and Connor Williams. If they're not 100%, they're not going to play. Williams was active yesterday, but McDaniel said after the game he was active in case there was a catastrophe.
Right.
So, which there almost was, which is what he said. He says there almost was.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at these guys, because like a dude like Kendall Lamb yesterday, he goes down and he is writhing in pain. Okay. And then like you go to commercial and you come back and the dude's like, all right, I'm back out here and he's fine. And I'm like, what? If I'm writhing in pain, I'm out for 2 months. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I want what he has.
Give me some of what he's, what do you got in that locker room? They go in and they come out and then they play the role. It's like
that spray that they have at the World Cup that they spray them with.
Oh, I haven't seen that. What's that?
I ever seen that?
No.
You'll see it a lot in soccer. Like it's just some like cold spray that like if they like bump knees with somebody or some shit like that, they'll like spray this cold spray on them real quick and they'll feel good again.
I guess it numbs it or something, like analgesic.
Maybe it has like icy hot type stuff in it.
This is totally off topic, but for those of you who watch the hockey videos too, I was watching because I was doing the video, I was doing research, and I was watching when Tkachuk scored the game-winning goal in Game 3 against the Knights, but he had already been hurt, right? And we're like, well, he played the rest of the game. He scored a game-winning goal. But I watched the celebration when everybody came over to hug him, and he was like, no, get the hell away from my arm. And I hadn't seen that before. I watched it. I was like, yeah, poor guy. But yeah, man, look, if we can get X back now, we might get Holland back. But then, of course, Brandon Jones yesterday, last play. What did I say? And it's my fault. I'm like, look, there's one play left. Just stay healthy, get the hell off the field. And Juju there had to lay Brandon Jones out. Now he's probably concussed.
Right. I can't wait to see X and Ramsey on the field together.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. And Holland as well.
Of course.
Because
I almost don't want that to be this week. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you got Ramsey and X on the outside, that's going to move Cater inside where he might be ending up likely to be covering Kelsey.
I think, who knows what Fangio is going to do. I would have Ramsey Rover with Kelsey.
Okay. Oh, I like that idea. Yeah. As long as Ramsey, I mean, I guess he's comfortable enough. I mean, because it's different when you're making a lot of.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
You're sticking him on a tight end. It's not like you're sticking him on a speedster like Tyreek or Waddle.
Right. That's actually not a bad idea, which means you probably won't do it. Probably won't do it. But look,
fingers crossed.
We're winning. We're 6-2. That's if you looked at the schedule to start the season, if you would have mapped it out, you would have said, well, if we lose to the Bills and we lose, to the Eagles, which on the road, and we win the rest, we're 6-2. You're like, okay. And you cross your fingers that that's as good as it goes. You know what I mean?
No one's saying, oh, they're going to be saying, oh, we can't beat the good teams or anything like that. Everyone looks at the schedule when it comes out. They look and see, all right, we can win this game. We can win this game. We'll probably lose this one. And yeah, like 6-2, maybe 7-1, because that's kind of what I was doing. I saw the 2 hard games. Like, we could split these. We could be 7-1 going in Kansas City. That was my best case scenario. But 6-2, great. Like, I'm not complaining about that one bit. And you can have the chatter on TV. That's all that's for. Is Dolphins can't beat a good team. They just need something to talk about. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, we better beat the Chiefs this week, or that narrative's never going to go away. And then
it won't. But still, I mean.
And then did you see the end of the Jets Giants? Were you because we streamed the end.
Yeah, no, that game, that if I lose in fantasy this week, it's gonna be because of that game.
I mean, the Jets are the worst, and yet maybe the best 4-3 team ever. I mean, their defense is so good and the offense is so bad, but then Zach Wilson makes throws like he did at the end of the game, and it was just crazy. I mean, how the Giants, it was a clinic. It was a clinic on how to blow a game.
That game was torture. And yes, I used in the chat the term garbage time, and I don't care that it was a 3-point game. You saw those offenses, a 3-point game? That was garbage time.
It's garbage time.
I got screwed in those last few minutes. I know this is Trey's weekly fantasy rant.
Right.
But I was going against Saquon, Garrett Wilson, and I had the Giants defense. So we just close out these last 2 minutes. Awesome, cool. Game's over. Saquon did some stuff, whatever. Garrett Wilson did some stuff, whatever. Giants defense was fantastic. That's what I was thinking. 2 minutes later, Giants are doing everything to try to run the clock out, which means Saquon's getting the ball every single time.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson picks up like 5 extra points with the big drive at the end to get the field goal.
Yeah.
Giants defense, it didn't go down much because it was only field goals, but Giants defense still went down like 2 points. Like in 2 minutes, dude got like 10 points and I got -2. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So yes, I was paying attention to that game. And Kyle was loving it because in the chat, and I was like, this is torture.
Again, as an older Dolphin fan, I know how these things go. And we're 6-2, and that sounds friggin' fantastic. But the Jets only have one more loss than we do, and we haven't played them yet.
Giants needed to win that game for that reason too. There was people talking about that in the chat, like, "Oh, who are we rooting for? Giants or Jets?" It's like rooting for the Giants. Like, what are we talking about here?
What are we talking about here?
Like,
you can't discount the Jets.
Asking that.
Yeah. So, all right, Dolphin fans, this is the big one. Now, remember, this is 9:30 in the morning. Okay, and remember also, you got to move your clocks back. All right, so be late because.
Oh wait, moving back gets the extra hour of sleep.
Extra, I got it backwards at the beginning.
So, okay.
I had it backwards, so we gain an hour, but it's still football at 9:30 in the morning, man. It's just like
it's gonna feel like 10:30 though. That's not too bad.
It doesn't just screw up my schedule. It's the dogs are gonna be like, what are we doing? You know how they get when dogs get into their routines. You break the routine, they get all nervous and anxiety. Well, that's what we're going to be dealing with while we're trying to watch the game. Is just
this guy running around during the whole recording because he's not used to this room because we're at my sister's house now in Houston.
Yeah.
Normally, y'all don't even hear him half the time, and all the other weeks when I'm at my apartment and he's just chill. Now you like can't get out of the shot because he's just running around. But it's cool.
It's cool. All right, Trey, thanks for joining us today. Dolphins 6-2. If we can beat the Chiefs, we have to beat the Chiefs. Just everybody manifest that. Get your crystals, get all your rocks, get your Bibles, get all whatever you got. All right, start a fire, do the whole thing. This is the
While we're putting stuff into the universe, good vibes, whatever, it needs to be mentioned because we wore them yesterday and they were fantastic. Make the Dolphins jerseys permanent.
Yes,
we
please.
want the old aqua. We want the old logo.
Yes.
I want the old end zones too. Those were sweet.
I know.
Bring it all back.
And get the dolphin in the tank too. That's probably not good.
Bring back Snowflake.
Bring back Snowflake. We get and look, I get that they probably don't want to have another dolphin in captivity, but we could probably get like what's that called? Not CGI, but like the laser.
The animatronic?
Like like the laser
hologram
show.
dolphin?
Yeah, hologram.
Okay.
Yeah, we get a hologram dolphin. Yeah. Yeah. And then here's the question. This is the final thing for the two of you that watched the whole video. This is a legitimate question. A hologram is really not a real thing. It's not a real object. Okay? If Tyreek scores a touchdown and celebrates with the hologram dolphin, is he really using a prop or not?
Ooh. I know he'll really get flagged either way. They'll never let him have fun. That's why he ran right to the bench after his touchdown.
Right to the bench. Yep, exactly. All right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. And Kyle and I will see you in like 5 hours for the Panthers and Bruins. Happy Halloween tomorrow, too, by the way.